I'm Logan Webb, and you're listening to TortureCast.
You're listening to a podcast by and for fans of the three-time world champion, San Francisco Giants. With hosts Chad King and Eric Nathanson. This is TortureCast.
It's Friday, December 13th, 2024, and this is episode 309 of the TortureCast podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants. I'm your host, Chad King, and boy, I was texting with this guy who's joining me right now, and he said, yeah, he might be a little salty today, a little bit bitter. Bay Area sports not doing as well as we had hoped. But yeah, the confirmation nods there coming from one Willie Dills Gregory. How you doing?
Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Actually,
in the beginning.
Actually, let's not start from the beginning, but let's just start from 2 days ago. The Warriors are in this cool thing, which is the mid-season tournament. Oh my God, we're gonna play the Rockets. We haven't lost to the Rockets in 15 games. The Warriors have a 15-game win streak against the Rockets. This is perfect. We're definitely going to get into the top four, right? The final four of this dumbass midseason tournament that I still don't really know why I give a shit about, but I'm in. The court is red. Okay, that's weird. Steph Curry. He's launching threes and making them. This is so fun. Oh my God, you guys. Draymond Green just did a night across the entire floor after he dunked on Rudy Gobert. That was so cool last game. I'm hyped about the Warriors. Then I watched this game where the refs call 0 fouls the entire game. The first quarter ended 20-18. No one's scoring. No one's doing anything. Suddenly, in the second half, the Warriors go up 9. The Warriors are killing it. The Warriors are up 1. They get down on the floor and start fighting for a ball. Normally, that ends in a jump ball, right? But then the refs decide suddenly to call a foul on the Warriors, and gift 2 free throws to the Rockets. The Rockets, and the best free thrower on the Rockets team, also, he makes them both. The Warriors have 3 seconds left. Our amazing coach, this is another theme of this show, I think, is the amazing coaches and managers that the Bay Area sports have. He draws up a play where they don't even shoot the ball. Yeah. Cut to last night. The 49ers are playing against the Rams. Normally, the 49ers have a pretty good record against the Rams. We got some good news. Bosa, he's back. Dre Greenlaw is back. Oh my God. This is going to be amazing. We're going to do it. The 49ers give up 0 touchdowns in this entire football game. 0 touchdowns. Normally, when the 49ers give up 0 touchdowns in an entire football game, I mean, I don't know what the record is historically, but I'm going to guess it's pretty good when the 49ers give up 0 touchdowns. I'm going to guess we normally win that football game. Right, Chad? Come on.
I'm going to be putting that north of 90% on that one, I'm sure.
Can we get someone to look that up? Anyway, now here's the rub. The 49ers also score 0 touchdowns. And somehow, by the grace of God, the Niners get one more chance with like 20 seconds. We throw a pretty crappy pass. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We have 5 seconds. We have one more play. Well, our really sick ass coach draws up a play where Brock Purdy somehow doesn't even throw the ball. So I think you're seeing a theme here. When we have a moment where we could possibly win, it's generally a good strategy to do the one thing that might score you points. And both of my teams didn't do that in the final moments of a game 2 days in a row. So,
Right.
so I was a little salty about that. Okay. You know what this is like? This is like an umpire calling the third strike in the ninth inning with 2 outs on a check swing. Something the Giants have never had to deal with, right?
Never. No, not in the playoffs at
that's
all.
never happened.
No.
That's never happened. Oh, wait a minute. No. So this is, as a sports fan, this is like the worst thing. It's like, at least throw the ball. At least swing the bat. At least shoot a shot. You know? So when we were texting about this show, okay. Now that we're done with that, and I am salty, and I think everyone listening understands why I'm salty now that I've explained it, we do have good ass news on this show. So things are looking up, Chad.
You know what?
When we're talking Giants,
the last few days of Bay Area sports, then yeah, things are looking up. I have Niner season tickets. I had just gone to that destruction of the Bears. They out.
That was a great game
in the first half. 312 yards to 2.
Yeah.
It was the biggest differential in a half in NFL history. It was the most yards any NFL team had gained in any half all season long. They scored 38 points, their season high.
Dude,
their chances
do you know
low,
a stat?
But it was like they own the Rams. They're going to come in here even with the rain, and then they laid an egg. You got the Warriors.
Do you know a stat about that Bears game, by the way?
Yeah, what's that?
After the first half was over, the Bears had punted more than they had gained yards.
Yeah. It was actually
Isn't that wild?
I almost felt
that's crazy.
I almost felt bad for them. But yeah, the Warriors with the non-call on Steph's shot, the loose ball foul, all that, and then not that I follow the Sharks closely. They're having another horrible season. It's
yeah.
And this is all on top of the fact that the Dodgers just won the World Series as well. And
we are a Giants podcast.
It's hurting, man. It's hurting. It's hurting. We are a Giants podcast.
We are a Giants podcast.
So we're gonna let you know what's going on right now.
There is a beautiful silver lining, a ray of hope, a little sunshine poking through the clouds in the Bay Area sports world right now. And that is that the Giants actually fucking signed somebody. Holy shit, let's go.
I had to double check my feed. I was like, wait a minute, they weren't the bridesmaid this time? Because that's what they always seem to be, right? But they finally landed someone, a pretty big free agent in the offseason, shortstop from the Milwaukee Brewers, Willy Adames. Not bad. He signed for 7 years, $182 million. And that actually, ironically, exceeds the guy's contract who signed him. Basically, the guy who had the biggest contract in Giants history is the guy who signed him. And that, of course, is Buster Posey. He had a franchise record $167 million deal back in the day.
Worth every penny.
That was definitely worth every penny. And we're hoping
that was the greatest contract in Giants history. Now, if Buster Posey believes that this guy is worth more money than he was worth, I don't know, man. I kind of believe him. There's something about where we're at right now with Buster Posey being in charge that just makes me feel good. You know, obviously we went through all of the last 5 years, and believe in Farhan. Well, that's over. We're believing in Posey, and Giants fans can all agree we believe in Posey. So this is a great first step.
This is a great first step, and one thing that I'm hoping for, and it's already evident in this signing, is that number one, he's going to attract more free agents than Farhan could ever do because of his pedigree, who he is, that he was a player, that he's a future Hall of Famer. Willy Adames in his press conference said that was one of the main reasons he signed with the Giants was because of Buster Posey. Number two, Buster Posey actually cares about the Giants. I mean, he is not just played his whole career here, wanted to stay here, purchased part of the team, and now is running baseball operations. He's the guy. He is more than a fan. He is
our guy.
It would be almost, not quite, because he didn't grow up a Giants fan. He actually grew up a Braves fan. But it'd be like me and you, having a couple $1 billion and buying the Giants and caring that much about it. Like, he cares. So he doesn't just care about his job like a general manager normally would, like a Farhan. He cares about the team. He cares about the people. He cares about the players. He cares about doing well. So in the clubhouse and the chemistry and all those things.
Posey could ride off into the sunset. He could ride off into the sunset right now, a rich man, right? Mm-hmm. And he did, after he retired, move to Georgia again for like a year, right? Mm-hmm. And then he moved back because clearly something happened here while he was a Giant. He bought in. Literally, he bought in.
Literally.
But but he bought into the culture. He bought into what the Giants are as a franchise, as a historic baseball franchise. He got to see it from the ground floor up. A rookie came in, won 3 championships, MVP, Rookie of the Year, batting title, all the stuff, all of the accolades. Retired early, even though he could have kept playing. He was technically still a player in his essentially prime playing years as far as age is concerned. Obviously, he's a catcher, so it's a shorter lifespan, but he decided to move into the next step, and then he is still a young man who then has now moved into this role. Owner, president of baseball operations, and just the guy, right? If you want to model your life after anybody, it's Buster Posey, right? This is it. This is the guy. And I think there's not only like what you said, people want to play here because of him. We now also are in a good position where there's guys who have recently been here, and we have the 3 championships that are not that long ago. Yes, we're in a division with the Dodgers and the Padres. Yes, we understand that. But the A's are gone. The Bay Area is all the Giants now. We are in a position where, think about bringing Brandon Crawford in as a defensive coach. Think about Will Clark, Barry Bonds being here. Think about all of the guys who are still kind of in the circle, in the universe of the Giants, and the pedigree that comes along with that. And I mean, his first move was Matt Chapman getting extended when he didn't have to be. You know what I mean?
And Matt
Chapman.
Farhan was still here too, and that was Buster getting that done.
Yeah, and Chapman is a guy I would just venture to guess every player in baseball wants to play on a team with Matt Chapman. Mm-hmm. And now we have Willy Adames and Matt Chapman as the left side of our infield. If you're a pitcher, don't you want people hitting ground balls into that left side? You know? So I don't know. Feeling good. Feeling good about what's coming down the pipe. So let's talk about that, man.
Yeah. I mean, Willy Adames himself last year, a heck of a year, hit 251. It's kind of funny because you and I grew up. 251 was kind of below average, but that's just a new reality. We just know where we're at now. So, but
okay.
For shortstop,
but we've been dealing with Brandon Crawford for
he was
10 years. 251's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, here's where he shines. 32 bombs, 112 RBI, throwing 21 stolen bases and a 3.1 WAR last year. And even the last 4 years with Milwaukee, he averaged 244 and 26 bombs. So, yeah, this dude's the real deal. His defense is good. It's around average. This past
he's not. Yeah,
season,
he's not.
He was kind of at the bottom of defensive runs saved and all that. But he's not Brandon Crawford defensively, but he's
not. He's not like a dazzling shortstop, but he's solid. He doesn't make a lot of errors, and he has a good arm. And then Chapman fills a lot of that gap, I think.
Yeah.
So, and then here's another thing that I really like is, this. So we lost. Crap. Now I'm blanking on the name. Our second baseman. Went to the Rockies.
Yeah, Tyro Estrada.
Estrada gone. But Fitzgerald moves to second base.
Yeah.
And Fitzgerald is essentially a shortstop playing second base.
Mm-hmm. Now
you're talking like a pretty solid, all the way up and down infield. And if Lamont is actually like an everyday first baseman, I feel pretty good about this infield.
Yeah, Fitzgerald can recapture anything he had kind of in the middle of last season. He kind of petered down the stretch, and Lamont was just plagued with injuries last year. But in the first half, he was still kind of his old self, near 400 on-base percentage, good defense at first. If he can, kind of be where he used to be in this career, I mean, yeah, they're going to have a solid infield. There's nothing wrong with that infield, especially the left side.
Well, Fitzgerald was a rookie last year, and he showed absolute flashes of, insane amounts of talent. And you're right. Lamont is a question mark because of the injuries, but we all love him, right? And if he can actually play day to day. Now, there was some talk about getting Alonso. I think that ship is safe. I don't foresee us making that move. But one big pitcher and maybe one more outfielder, suddenly the Giants are actually a contender in the West. Not to be the Dodgers, but
no. That's
that's not what we're talking about. Let's be real.
No, and one of the things that Adames also said is that he said he was going to reach out to Corbin Burns, his ex-teammate, tell him a little bit about the Giants, and you never know. Could have something to do, Adames. Burns is a West Coast. In fact, Ken Rosenthal said, and this is a quote, "The thing I've heard in recent days is that he would prefer to return to the West Coast. He has a home in Arizona. He's from Bakersfield. He attended St. Mary's in the Bay Area. He's a West Coast guy. The Giants are the obvious favorites here. It is all lining up for them. The question is, do they want to pay him?" There you go.
I really hope they do. Now Burns is, in my opinion, this is a go for it guy.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old, right? So and we've kind of seen with the way that we manage pitching, these guys go for a long time, right? Some of the tippy top tier pitchers right now are like late 30s, close to their 40s, right? Burns is 30 and essentially only getting better. He's last year under 3 ERA, I know we don't talk about wins that much anymore, but 15 wins. I mean, on the Orioles, this guy's got huge upside still at this point in his career. So this is a guy I will shell out, for 10 years. I don't care. Let's go. Give him the thing. You know what I mean? Give him the opt-outs and all that stuff, whatever. But just give him the money. We lost Snell, obviously.
That's one of the things that hurts. Not that we expected to keep Blake Snell. We knew that he was going to opt out, and he did. We knew that the Giants weren't going to pay him, and they didn't. The fact is, he went to their rivals, and it's one of those situations where it's like a pick six, right? You're on the goal line. You might score a touchdown. They pick it off and run it the other way. It's such a swing because not only you lose Snell from last year, who after his first 6 starts was a freaking Cy Young guy. I mean, he was incredible.
Yeah. He threw a no-hitter last year.
And then he goes to your arch rivals and they get that much better.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go, oh, it's a double whammy, man. It's a double freaking whammy. And it hurts. So to me, signing a guy like Burns is hypercritical. I mean, I know you're probably going to overpay him, but what else?
This is the move.
What are you saying if you don't get a guy like that? Like, we're going to just go with Logan Webb and company, Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
And, come on.
I mean, Robbie Ray has a potential to have a pretty decent year, but I don't see Robbie Ray getting 15 wins. I'm sorry.
No, that's the thing, right?
You know what I mean? In my opinion, Robbie Ray is going to be a guy he's going to go down for a stretch at some point, but he will have a lot of great starts. But you're right. Like, all of that firepower that we thought we had last year, we don't have that anymore.
No.
But if you plug in a Burns and then you have Webb and Burns, I mean, that's basically we're going to win 40% of our games.
Yeah. No, that's one of the preeminent 1-2 punches in baseball, if they could get that.
Yeah.
100%. Well, yesterday, I was just going to play this clip here real quick. Yesterday, Willy Adames was introduced by Buster Posey and company, so I got about a minute-long clip here. Just, hear some of his thoughts about coming to San Francisco. Oops, there we go.
To be here, I'm really happy. So excited for this opportunity. Obviously, there is no words to describe my feeling right now, and to be here in this city, beautiful city. I'm just so happy to be here. Happy to go out there on the field and give my 100% every day, and play for Bob. I mean, everybody so good about him. I'm so excited about that, and I just wanted to take the ownership and you, Buster, for making it happen, Zach. It's just a dream come true for me, and like I said, I'm thrilled to be here, man. I'm so excited, and hopefully we can win a few championships like you did, and that's one of the main reasons I'm here. And I'm so excited, and thank you everybody for being here today.
Yeah, he goes on to say a few more words, and then he's asked a lot of those questions about Buster Posey. Was that one of the main reasons? He also referred to a lot of the young guys as potential superstars. They actually wanted him to expand on that. And it was actually kind of funny. He's all, well, I don't mean superstars like 5-time All-Stars. I just mean people who are really committed and are out every day and they really care about the team and the clubhouse. And so you could tell he kind of backtracked a little bit because he knows all the young guys aren't going to be superstars in this league. That's not a thing.
Well, yeah, but let's think about it. So let's talk about what our starting lineup and our team actually looks like. Forget Corbin Burns. We're not going to imagine we haven't, but if we do, that changes a lot of things. But Patrick Bailey as the catcher. I got to think every pitcher wants to throw to a guy like him, right? Gold glove caliber catcher. Does a lot of things
he won
right.
The Gold Glove.
Yes, literally. Yes, he is literally a Gold Glove catcher. This is the guy you want to throw to, right? So if you're Burns, that's another reason why you won't be here. We still don't have the robo umps, so framing is still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Bailey has proved himself to be one of the top catchers when it comes to that. Now we're talking, a really solid infield behind you. Potentially a very good outfield behind you too when Jung-Hoo Lee comes back and is playing center. So I gotta say, I know the Dodgers are a freaking all-star team, but when I look around baseball, I think there's a lot of upside here for the Giants. If we're talking Ramos, Jung-Hoo Lee, and I don't know if we're really gonna go Yaz 100% in right field, or if we're gonna make one more move there, but we could be sitting on a pretty solid outfield as well.
Yeah.
So this team looks pretty decent to me. I mean, I think the problem for us as Giants fans is we're sitting in the West. If we were in the Central, we'd be feeling real good. You know what I mean? We're always going to be looking up at the Dodgers.
Yeah, 100%.
But we build a team that's basically built around making the wild card and then trying to shock the world, right? And there's a lot of potential here. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I feel the reason I'm cautious is, man, last year going into the season, they had gotten Blake Snell and obviously made other additions, and I was pretty excited. I think Eric was more excited than anyone going for 95 wins, which, I was like, all right, pump the brakes, buddy. But I was still thinking mid 80s, to high 80s and getting a wild card. And I kind of am having a similar feeling right now before any other signings. Like, okay, they're getting Jung-Hoo Lee back and obviously signing Adames, and Chapman's been extended now. And, some of this sounds really good. But man, it's amazing how quickly injuries can change things,
Sure.
And how some guys don't pan out, like a Jorge Soler, right? He didn't pan out, and he went back to the Braves, had a hot streak of like 4 weeks, and then he petered off there, did crap in the playoffs, and guess what? Braves didn't re-sign him, and now he's with the Angels. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where you just never know what you're going to get. But, you got to move in the right direction, and the Giants are moving in the right direction. But yeah, I mean, with the Dodgers rebuilding again, shouldn't say rebuilding, reloading.
Reloading. Yeah, no, they're already...
Snell, and then freaking Ohtani gets to pitch again this coming year. He's coming off his Tommy John.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I'm not 100% convinced that Ohtani's going to come back the way he was.
He may not, and we've certainly seen a lot of TJ pitchers come back.
But the Dodgers don't.
Better.
They don't need him to be that.
They don't.
If it doesn't pan out,
yeah.
If it doesn't pan out, they just go, okay, we still have the best DH in baseball.
Yeah, just go ahead and hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases
every now and then,
and then hit over 300.
Every now and then, we'll run you out there and see if you're feeling better. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
In the meanwhile, do a 50-50 season.
Just continue to rake for us. We're good with that. Just win another MVP. We're cool with that. Yeah,
dude, I saw some Dodgers fans being like, "We needed Snell because all of our pitchers are hurt," and then they start rattling off other pitchers, and I'm like, "Dude, you guys have 10 quality starters. Yes, some of them are hurt."
Yeah, no, they were decimated last year in terms of that. So they had openers, and even in the playoffs, right? They had two of their 50% of the games with openers, and no team wants to do that. But their team is so freaking good.
When they went into the bullpen, it didn't seem like it was a problem.
No,
to be honest.
No, I mean, when you win the World Series, it's not a problem, obviously. So, but of course, they want to have your traditional starter go 5-6 innings, right? Take that pressure off the bullpen. But anyway,
but that's not baseball. That's not baseball anymore, man.
I know.
We're in a new era, and Logan Webb is he's the last of the horses.
Yeah, he always leads the league in innings pitched. Yeah, I think he has the last 3 years now. Yeah, he's
and look, that's great. That's great, and that's another reason why I think Corbin Burns has to look at the Giants and be like, this is a great place for me to land. I get to maybe be the ace along with Logan Webb. I don't have to go 7-8 innings every single time because he'll eat innings, and so I can just give my all for 5. If we have a pretty solid bullpen behind, and we have a couple of good arms, I don't know. Like, okay, so let me ask you this: outside of Burns, is there any like on your wish list? Your Christmas is coming. Is there any player that you want under your Christmas tree this year, Chad?
Shohei Ohtani. Oh wait.
Okay, yeah.
Barry Bonds. He's in good shape still. He's only 60.
Yeah, he's he can still hit. No, but I mean,
Juan
I
Soto.
know, like, we're kind of
wait.
we're getting into the well, okay. Well, we got Snell at the last freaking minute, which was actually kind of terrible for us. But
Yeah.
is there any free agent still out there that looks like he fits the mold for the Giants?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that Japanese pitcher. What's his name? Sasaki.
Oh yeah, and I have heard that we're considering. We're in the hunt.
Yeah. I do need. I think they need to shore up their rotation a little bit. So yeah, adding a Burns and a Sasaki. I mean, obviously that's a lot of money, and I don't know if they can do that. But they got to compete with the Padres and the Dodgers, and I hate the fact that the Giants and us fans and the media are like, well, there's always the wild card. It's like hard to even think about the division right now when the Dodgers have won 11 of the last 12 division titles. I mean, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. So it sucks to have to think of it that way. While you have the NL East or the AL Central, which are just like 88 wins might win the division for you or something. It's weird, but yeah, I mean, their infield is set, their catcher's set. Aside from a couple of their outfield is fairly well set. I mean, they signed Yaz, so he's going to be out there a lot.
They did sign Yaz, and a lot of people were a little iffy about that, but Yaz is like essentially you plug him in, he's like a 2 WAR a year guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
like,
not fantastic.
He just kind of is that.
He's just there. Yeah.
He plays amazing defense. I know he strikes out a lot,
which
is frustrating, but he actually does kind of deliver. Weirdly, in the modern world of baseball, he kind of delivers. There was some talk of getting Tucker, but I guess Tucker just went to the Cubs, or where'd he go?
Yeah, they were thinking
I think
about
Tucker just
him.
got traded. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, outside of the outfield, I don't really know where else we really look. So this might be it. Outside of getting Corbin Burns, and then the Japanese pitcher. God, what is his name? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Sasaki.
Can't think of it. Sasaki. Yeah. So those are kind of the last real, like, we there was a lot of talk of Ha-Sung Kim, but now obviously that's not happening because
they got Adames.
So, and then I guess Alonso is still technically out there, but I can't see that happening.
No,
right?
I don't see that happening, especially over a platoon of like Flores and Wade that, they're not going to mash as much as Alonso, but Alonso's had a couple of down years, he's not, I don't think what he used to be per se. And, signing him to a long-term contract probably isn't the best idea considering what they have. I'm interested in what's going to happen with their closer situation because Camilo Duvall obviously has essentially fallen off a cliff, and he's still, on the team. He's still slotted to be probably their closer coming out of spring training. But, Ryan Walker showed a lot of promise, and Duvall just...
I think Walker... yeah.
So...
I think Walker
I think
is
Duvall
our
could
closer
be trade bait
right now.
Yeah, I think they could trade Duvall.
Walker as a closer, I think, is great, and I think you're right. Duvall is a big piece that other teams I mean, come on, a guy who throws 100 miles an hour with a cutter.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be interested in that.
Yeah. He's got
And
the raw talent.
if that turns into outfield depth or, any nice piece, I'm down. I believe in Walker. I believe in Walker as a closer.
No,
So,
he looked good.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm looking around the league and I'm just not seeing a lot of real options as far as upgrades in any of our spots.
I think it's going to be the utility guys and relief guys are really just kind of fleshing out the remainder of the roster.
Yeah. So, but realistically, I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking this is a team that could make a wild card spot, challenge for second in the division. The Padres, yes, they're still pretty quality, and the Diamondbacks are still potentially up there, but there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I think that focus on the bullpen, focus on developing the talent that we have. And we do have some guys we can move in, like guys who don't really have a spot anymore, right? That are kind of major league talent, but haven't really gotten there for us. So I think you turn those guys into bullpen arms. I would love to see the Giants be one of those teams that once you get to the 5th, 6th inning, you don't score anymore. Do you know what I mean? A lot of quality teams have built themselves around that and done really well, especially when you get to the playoffs. So, with Adames in the middle of the lineup, we can actually put crooked numbers up here and there. So I don't know. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm not going to say 95 like Eric. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, we got a few months left before we go ahead and make those calls.
Yeah,
but
this is to me this is a winning baseball team right now as things stand.
I think they're capable of it on paper right now, but again, the injury bug is always the thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens over the next few months when we get into our season preview. If they've got a guy like Burns or they've shored up some of their bullpen and utility guys, maybe I'll be singing a different tune. I don't think this is they haven't made their team worse, right? That's the thing. And they were right around 500 again. But that's just not going to cut it. I mean, they have to improve by at least 7, 8, 9 games. They have to. That's the goal, to get to those high 80s, because that's what it took.
Yeah.
This past year to get the wild card.
So there's one other thing. Conforto is also a Dodger.
Yeah.
So
and he opted in
Barry
last
Bonds
year too. So
the Barry Bonds curse continues.
That
guaranteed have a new left fielder.
Yep. A different left fielder opening day every year since 2007. Unbelievable, dude. That is.
Yeah.
We're getting to this will be the 19th consecutive year. I mean, that's wow. Or maybe 18 or 19. That's a lot. How is that possible?
That's got to be absolutely unheard of. No other team has ever done that, right? Like,
I mean, like right now, I guess you would slot in potentially a Ramos if Yaz is starting in right, and obviously
if Jung-Hoo Lee is ready for opening day, he plays center, and I think you put Ramos in left and Yaz in right, right?
Exactly.
The way it looks now. Yeah.
That's the way it looks now. That's what I would predict. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let me ask you this. Do you feel okay if Lamont is our potentially everyday first baseman? Obviously, Wilmer slots in there as well, but Wilmer slots all over the place, kind of, right? Who's our DH?
Yeah, so actually I was going to bring that up. That is one of the things, one of the positions that they really could fill with a free agent right now. Because their infield is set, and you're not going to always have Flores DHing, and you're not going to always have Wade at first. So I think you do need a more regular DH than what they have right now, which would be platoon style, right? It would be whoever is not playing in the field is going to be the DH. Well, great. Yeah. Well, how about we get a solid DH? So, I mean, there are some guys out there. I just you could convert a Pete Alonso, to something like that. I know Kyle Tucker did just sign, I guess. Who was it with the Cubs?
Yeah, he went to the Cubs. That was a trade, actually. He wasn't a free agent, so that was a trade. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. DH is one of those interesting ones. I don't know how many guys out there that are available that want to actually just be a DH.
This is the thing. Like, I don't want Luciano to be our fucking DH. I'm sorry. I don't. I think Yaz will end up there sometimes. Matos will end up playing in the field. I think Flores will be there sometimes, but I don't know, man. You're supposed to have a legit bat as a DH at this point in baseball. So, when it comes to DH, our current options, as it stands, Flores, Yaz when he's not in the outfield, Lamont when he's not at first base, Encarnacion, maybe.
Yeah, he showed a little promise.
But do we want to rely on that, right? Because it feels to me like other teams have guys like Shohei Ohtani doing, know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I think is a big sticking point, and that's a question mark. It's a question mark.
Yeah, I mean, you have guys that obviously traditionally hit up and down. At times, you already brought up Luciano. Casey Schmidt has been usurped as the third baseman. He could fill in at times. Tyro's gone. Fitzgerald's going to be probably hitting mostly second. A Blake Sable, but here's the thing: is these are all guys that have had little brief moments that are good, but none of these are regular DHs.
These aren't big bats. These aren't big bats. And the thing is, when I think about a guy like Schmidt, to me, Schmidt feels like that's a movable piece right now. He's a guy who really doesn't have a landing spot here anymore, with Chapman being locked down and shortstop being locked down. Wisely is a great bench piece. Schmidt to me doesn't feel like a bench piece in the same way. Do you know what I mean? Schmidt feels like a guy who wants to be an everyday starter somewhere. And Fitzgerald's essentially moving to our everyday second baseman, Wisely being the guy you can plug in at second, short, or third, depending on who needs a spell. Mm-hmm. It just feels like the DH needs to be a legit bat.
Yeah, and then you have the guy that could fill in spot starting is a Grant McCray too. But again, these are not what you're just addressing. They're not your everyday guy. They're just not.
So that is the big question mark. And a guy like Soler was supposed to be that, right? That was supposed to be what he did for us. Unfortunately, that didn't really play out. So, there's got to be a guy like that out there somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know where he is. What'd be interesting is getting back Jock Peterson, but that's not going to happen. Or JD Davis. JD Davis would actually be a guy I would actually be down for in that spot. But I don't really know what his situation is right now either. So,
yeah,
it's just I don't really know. I don't know where we go. I don't know where we go here.
Yeah, we're.
I actually literally have no idea.
You want to go back and get Andrew McCutchen?
Sure, a 40-year-old Andrew McCutchen. Let's go.
Yeah, Carpenter's out there, like you said. JD Martinez. He's 37 years old now. Jock Peterson. Eloy
What
Jimenez. I mean, he's been pretty good. And Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers. I forgot that he was available too.
did Rizzo go to somebody already? He would be a sick option.
Yeah, I want to say he already signed.
I feel like he
did. Yeah, because he was with the Yankees, and then I think he signed quickly after the offseason started. And I cannot recall where he went.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, you have some retreads and old friends right now, which is just not going to cut it.
Okay. Paul Goldschmidt. What's he doing?
Oh, very good point. He actually is on the target list for the Giants. I totally forgot about that.
37 years old. He doesn't need to play first base anymore. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing stuff out, dude.
Throwing it out there, baby. Throwing it out there.
Buster, get on it, dude. Paul Goldschmidt. That guy always kills us. Let's just have him on our team.
Yeah, what if he says, hey, every time we play you, no matter where, you've been with the Diamondbacks or the Cardinals, you always kill us. So how about you join us? And that will get us that'll give the Giants 3 extra wins just by not being on those teams.
That makes you're making a lot of sense right now.
I'm just saying,
making a lot of sense.
I think you single-handedly cost the Giants about 3 wins a year.
Generally, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, you add by subtracting someone else from someone else. That'll work. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, cool.
I mean, I guess the real thing is we've made this one move. Now we need to see what the next step is, because there is a next step. This is not the end. This is not the team that we're actually going to throw out there yet. There definitely is another move on the horizon.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah. So as a Giants fan, doing a podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants, I'm here. My body is ready. I can't wait to see what Buster has in store.
You know what hit me a couple of weeks ago when Brandon Crawford officially retired and he announced his retirement. He, as far as I can tell, was the last active player in the major leagues that was on the Giants' last World Series winning team of 2014. I do not believe there is a single player from that roster that is active in the major leagues right now. I could be wrong. There might be some reliever that got like 1 inning in the World Series or something, or in the playoffs that I'm not thinking of. But other than that, he's certainly the last real link, as far as an everyday player to that team. And I think it's just a sign of how much time has already passed, Willie. Like, seriously, it's like this will now be 11 seasons, right? And that's a career. That is a career for a lot of players. I mean, they're lucky to go more than 5. So, that's it's a long time. But, I just want to say Brandon Crawford was one hell of a Giant. He'll definitely be on the Wall of Fame at some point. I don't think he's going to get his number retired or anything like that. But we'll see. I mean, you had, Will Clark get his number retired, and he played fewer seasons than Brandon Crawford. But then you got to throw in Buster Posey, which he will. Madison Bumgarner, probably, maybe, not sure. And others. But anyway, over the next 5 years, 10 years, I think there's going to be a lot of Giants going to be honored in various ceremonies, statues, numbers, Wall of Fames, whatever it may be. There's going to be a lot coming up. So, but yeah, Brandon, I would love to have him to fold back into the organization, like you suggested, being some sort of defensive coach, special advisor, whatever it may be. Anyway. Cool dude, man. It's just, it's sad that, the career ended like that. You kind of saw it coming.
You just kind of brought up an interesting name. Madison Bumgarner for DH, dude. Let's go.
Maybe he's been training all off season.
He doesn't need to pitch, man. Just put him in there.
Something. I know, right?
Put him in there to just launch bombs, dude. Just launch bombs, crazy. Blow snot rockets, and get mad at umpires. You know what I mean? That's all I want.
He worked on his hitting, obviously, a lot as a pitcher. But I wonder if, like, in his prime, if he only worked on hitting and didn't pitch at all, I mean, do you think he could have been like a 220, 240 hitter with like 15, 20 bombs a year? I think he could have been.
Dude, absolutely. Okay, you remember Tim Tebow decided to not be a quarterback anymore and be a minor league Met for a while and was actually kind of raking in the minors?
Yeah. He had a couple of good weeks here and there.
Are you telling me Madison Bumgarner couldn't put all his time into hitting? He wouldn't be like a serviceable DH? I think he would be. I
think he would have been fine. Yeah, well, anyway, this.
If Michael Jordan can come and play for the White Sox,
I think Giants fans. Look, I never thought I'd see 3 World Championships in my lifetime. That just is. It's such a treat, such an amazing thing to have experienced as an adult, not even like as a kid. Whereas, like, a lot of the Niners championships are when I was old enough to appreciate it. In 1994, their last one, I was 21 years old, so I was no kid. But it's been a long freaking time, dude. Like, the Niners, they've been so close too, and we don't have to rehash that.
Listen, man.
But to see 3 with the Giants, I'm so appreciative. I love it.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's been 11 seasons, and now I want more. It's time.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready for another couple. Let's go.
Yeah. Or you know what? I'm just ready to win. I'm just ready to win a playoff series and get my heart broken and the NLCS. I just want legitimate playoff baseball again. I'll just take that.
Yep. We got teased in 21 with the outlier, and there's been nothing since. So we need that back. We need it.
Now I will say, Willy Adames bringing up Bob. I want to play for Bob. I do think there's something to that. A lot of people talk shit about Bob Melvin last year, about his maybe mishandling of the bullpen and stuff like that. But he is a guy in the Bruce Bochy kind of vein that players want to play for, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we got that going for us as well. It just feels like there's vibes. There's good vibes ready to happen. Let's not play Pusoy in the clubhouse. Let's keep it on the field. Let's keep it on the field, and let's just get to winning. There's a lot of good guys around the team. Guys who made a name for themselves here have stuck around. Do you know what I mean? Hunter Pence sticking around, being a broadcaster. Buster Posey, like you said, if Brandon Crawford kind of makes his way back in, Will Clark being a guy who stuck around. The most handsome Giant of all time is our hitting coach right now. Like there's just goodness around this team, and there's might I say, a culture to the Giants, and that has to be attractive to some of these guys who are looking for a place to land. That's not the Dodgers, that's not the Yankees, that's not the Mets, because they can't get everybody. Right? There has to be a little room for us. So, I'm just going to put it out there. I believe this will be a fun season coming up. 2025 is going to be a fun season for the San Francisco Giants. And let's also remember, we have to cherish every single season that Kruk and Kipe are still our broadcasters.
Right.
So let's just focus on that. You know what I mean? Let's focus on that, and let's have a good ass time this year.
I mean,
And there you go. That's what I got. Just do it. That's what I got.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday.
Thank you, LaBouffe.
Just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
Thank you.
Shia knows what I'm talking about.
Shia knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right, man. I think that's going to do it for episode 309. Hey, before we sign off, you got anything to pimp? Oh, yeah, you do have something starting. Is it tonight or tomorrow night?
Okay, yeah. I'll bring this up. So tomorrow is the first of the 12 Dills of Christmas. For anybody who's not familiar, it's a thing I used to do when I was streaming all the time. Haven't been streaming in a while, but I'm bringing it back for this year. I don't know if this will turn into me streaming more, but essentially the 12 Dills of Christmas is 12 straight days of me streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Willy Dills. And a Christmas theme. I've actually put a lot of work into setting up a lot of cool stuff. So each day will kind of have a theme around whatever day of Christmas it is. So day one, a cartridge and a whiskey. So, instead of a partridge in a pear tree, it's a cartridge and a whiskey. I'll be playing old Nintendo 64 games. Nintendo 64 games and drinking whiskey. So there you go. So, but each day will be a different game, and a lot of it will end up probably with me playing Hearthstone and just hanging out. But be listening to Christmas songs, having a good time. Hopefully, Chad, you'll join me at some point. We'll play something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. That'll be fun to play. But yeah, so come on by twitch.tv/Willy Dills. And also, anybody who is listening, we just got done with the Mediocre Golf Association World Championship. It was another banner year, best year ever. And, so the season, we're in our off season right now, but the season starts in March. So if you are a mediocre golfer and you live anywhere, there's probably a chapter near you. So mgatour.com is where we can find out about that.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I hope to join you sometime this week, and I'm glad you're bringing it back. I always loved it during that time of year, even if I just watched the stream and I was doing other stuff. It was just like, it's Christmas time. Dills is back. I like it. This is good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm glad.
It's a good time. It's a great time.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to episode 309. You can follow us collectively at TortureCast on Shitter, whatever the hell it's called these days. Individually at ChadK21 or Eric. He couldn't quite make it today. He had a little emergency at work. At 2 Out Hits. You can like us on Facebook and you can email us whenever you want and check out everything that we post at torturecast.com. For Eric, for Willie, this is Chad signing off. We'll see you in a few weeks. Until then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or however you celebrate this time of year.
A big thank you to everybody for listening to the TortureCast, the podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants. Follow us on Twitter at TortureCast. You can also like us on Facebook or check out our blog at torturecast.com. I also want to say thank you to Ashcon and Bailey for letting us use their song Feeling Like a Giant for our intro. For Ben Lee and Chad King, my name is Willy Dills saying, we'll see you next time.